Hello, hello, hello. A very warm welcome to this special extended episode of Success Mindset. I'm your host, Emma, and as always, I am joined by the person who taught me that the mind is our greatest tool, Mark. Mark, today's topic is so big, we decided to give it more time than ever before.
Hello, Emma. Hello to all our listeners. You are right. Today is special. We are talking about the foundation of everything. Before the money, before the fame, before the skills, there is one thing that must exist. You have to believe in yourself. Without this, everything else is like building a house on sand.
I've been thinking about this all morning, Mark. Why is it that some people seem to walk with a natural shield of confidence, while others struggle every single day just to say one positive thing about themselves? Is it luck, or is it something we can actually build?
That is exactly what we are going to explore in depth today. We are going to look at the architecture of self-belief. We will look at where it comes from, what destroys it, and how to protect it like it is the most expensive diamond in the world.
Let's start at the beginning, Mark. Most of us aren't born with doubt. If you look at a 3-year-old child trying to draw a picture, they don't say, "Oh, I'm not an artist, I shouldn't try this." They just grab the crayon and create. So, when do we start losing that magic?
You hit the nail on the head, Emma. We are born with unlimited potential. But as we grow, we start collecting no's. No, don't do that. No, you are good at math. No, your voice is too loud. We start listening to the world instead of listening to ourselves. We begin to build a self-image based on what other people say about us.
So, my belief in myself is often just a collection of other people's opinions. That sounds dangerous.
It is. We call this external validation. It's when you only feel good if someone else says, "Good job." The problem is, if they stop saying it, your confidence disappears. Real self-belief must be internal. It must come from your own heart, regardless of what the world says.
I remember when I first started this podcast, I was terrified. I thought, who am I to teach English? There are millions of better teachers. My inner critic was screaming at me.
That inner critic is a character we all have. Psychologists call it the negative self-talk. It's a survival mechanism. Your brain wants to keep you safe. Safe means don't try new things because new things might be dangerous. So, the brain says, you can't do it, just to keep you on the sofa where it's safe.
So, my brain is actually trying to help me, but it's doing it in a very annoying way.
Ha ha ha, exactly. Your brain is like an overprotective parent. You have to tell it, thank you for trying to keep me safe, but I am going to try this anyway.
Mark, some people worry that if they believe in themselves too much, they will become arrogant or have a big ego. What is the difference?
This is a very important point for our listeners. Ego is saying, I am better than everyone else. Self-belief is saying, I don't have to be better than anyone else to be valuable. Ego is based on competition. Self-belief is based on contribution.
I love that. So, believing in myself isn't about looking down on others. It's about looking up at my own potential.
Precisely. Arrogant people are usually the ones who are the most insecure. They shout loudly because they are afraid people will see their weaknesses. But people with true self-belief are often very quiet and kind. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. They already know their worth.
Let's talk about the difficult days. What happens when I try to believe in myself, but then I fail? I fail a test, or I lose a job, or I make a mistake in a conversation. My brain says, "See, I told you that you weren't good enough. Here is the proof."
This is where most people give up. They see failure as a stop sign, but successful people see failure as a lesson. You have to separate your performance from your identity.
Can you explain that more?
Sure, if I play a game of football and I lose, I can say, I played a bad game. That is a performance evaluation. It's okay. But if I say, I am a loser, that is an identity statement. That is a lie. One bad game does not make a loser. 10 bad games do not make a loser. Only giving up makes a loser.
So, we need to stop using the verb to be with failure. I am not failure. I just experienced failure.
Exactly. It's an experience, not a destination. Think about Thomas Edison again. He didn't believe he was a failure when his light bulbs didn't work. He believed he was a scientist who was learning how light bulbs don't work. His belief in his ability to learn was stronger than the evidence of his mistakes.
Since this is an English learning podcast, let's talk about the words we use. Does the way we speak affect our self-belief?
Absolutely. Language is the clothing of our thoughts. If you use weak language, you feel weak. Instead of saying, I hope I can, say, I am working toward. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, my English is bad, say, thank you for your patience while I improve. Instead of saying, it's impossible, say, it's a challenge I haven't solved yet.
Yet, we talked about that word in the Success Mindset series. It really is a magical word. It turns a wall into a door.
It really does. I also want our listeners to practice positive affirmations, but not the fake kind. Don't look in the mirror and say, I am a billionaire, if you have $0. Your brain will know you are lying.
So, what should we say instead?
Use fact-based affirmations. Say things like, I am a person who shows up every day. I am capable of learning difficult things. I have overcome challenges before, and I will do it again. These are truths. Your brain can't argue with them.
Mark, we often talk about the environment. How do the people around us affect our belief in ourselves?
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you spend time with energy vampires, people who always complain and tell you why you can't do things, it is almost impossible to believe in yourself.
Energy vampires. That is a scary name, but it's very accurate.
It is. They suck the hope out of the room. You need belief builders. You need people who see the version of you that doesn't exist yet. When you say, I want to start a YouTube channel, a belief builder says, that's amazing. How can I help?
But what if I don't have those people in my real life? What if my family or friends are the ones who doubt me?
Then you find them online. Listen to podcasts like this one, read biographies of great people, or join communities of learners. You have to import your confidence from people who have already walked the path. Eventually, their voice becomes your voice.
Mark, we have covered so much ground. But if I just sit here and listen to you and believe, is that enough?
Belief without action is just a dream. Action is the only thing that proves to your brain that you are capable. Doubt grows in silence and stillness. Confidence grows in movement and action.
So, if I am afraid of speaking English, the best way to believe I can do it is to just speak?
Yes, speak badly. Speak with mistakes. But speak. Every time you do the thing you are afraid of, your self-belief tank fills up a little bit more. You are sending a message to your subconscious, hey, look, we didn't die. We actually did it.
We didn't die. That's a low bar for success, but it's a great start.
It's the truth. Our brain's biggest fear is death. Once you show it that failure is not death, it lets you try bigger things.
Mark, this has been an incredible journey. We've talked about childhood roots, the inner critic, the difference between ego and belief, the language we use, and the power of action. If you had to give one final message to our listeners today, what would it be?
My message is this. You were not born to be small. You were not born to live a life of fear. You have a unique set of skills and unique voice that the world needs. If you don't believe in yourself, you are stealing from the world. You are taking away the contribution you were meant to make.
That is a very powerful thought. Believing in yourself is a responsibility.
Exactly. So, my challenge for the listeners is this. Today, do one thing that the confident version of you would do. If that version of you would say, hello, to a stranger in English, do it. If that version would apply for a new job, do it. Don't wait for the feeling. Do the action, and the feeling will follow.
I love that. Act as if.
Precisely. Act as if you are already the person you want to become.
Thank you so much, Mark. This has been our longest and perhaps most important conversation. Listeners, we believe in you. Now, it's your turn to believe in yourselves.
You got this. See you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone, and keep growing.